All right, so what we're going to have a look at is something that's usually overlooked when creating a document, and that's fonts. There are lots of reasons to give some thought to the fonts that you use. It helps with readability, it helps with setting the tone for the document that you have created, it helps with the end user engagement as to whether or not they continue reading. So what we'll have a look at is how to use different fonts in a Google Doc, which will then apply to other parts of the Google Suite. How to manage and customize some of your fonts, how to set your chosen font as a default for all of your documents. Every time you open up a new Google Doc, how to have that as the default font, and then how to then take a font that you've used in a Google Doc and use that in a non-Google Doc like Microsoft Word or Apple Pages or something like that. All right, let's go have a look. All right, so here I've got my Google Doc. It's got the default font, which is Arial at 11 point. Kind of boring, kind of dull. So let's highlight just part of the text for now. And we're going to come here to the font selector. Now, all the recent fonts that I've used are here. All the system fonts are here. I can go ahead and I can click on More Fonts, and it'll show me all of the fonts that are available from Google for all Google Docs. And you can run some different filters to narrow down that list that you've got. So you might just get the display ones, or you might just go for the handwriting style ones. So let's go ahead and we'll choose this one. Now you'll see that it's added to my fonts over here, and we'll see why that's important in a little while. So there's the font that I've chosen, and I can go ahead and press OK, and there we go, it's changed that font. Now I'll go ahead and I'll change the font size. Now the keyboard shortcut for that is Command Shift and the period sign. So Command Shift period. Right, so I can make it bigger and I can make it smaller by using the Command Shift comma to make it smaller. So that's just a nice keyboard hack to have. So there we go, we've changed our font and the size of that font. Now if I want to apply that to the rest of the document, then I can go ahead here to my Styles menu and just click on that arrow beside that, and then there's my normal text. I can hover over that, and then I can use this one here, Update Normal Text to Match. And what you'll see happen is the entire document where I've used that normal text style has changed. Now, if I want to make that the default font for every time that I open up a new document, then what I'll need to do is to come here to Format, and we're going to come here to Paragraph Styles, and we're going to come down here to Options, and I'm going to save as my default styles. So that will apply it to anything that you've changed here. So if you've changed the style for title, for example, or for the different headings, it'll set those as the default as well. So I'm going to come here, and we're going to use, save as my default styles. So now when I start up a brand new Google Doc, you can see here that the font and the font size have been automatically set to my preferred font and font size, and that'll do it every time. And I can change that whenever I want. If for whatever reason I decide I don't like that and I want to go back to the default, then again I can come to Format, Paragraph Styles, Options, and Reset, and it'll take it back to everything that Google decided was the best to use. All right, now let's go ahead and make this a heading, and we'll change this one to this one here, this one called Permanent Marker. All right, and we'll make it a bit bigger. There we go. Now, I'm going to go ahead. Now, occasionally people want to transfer what they've done in a Google Doc across to an offline editor. or a different editor, something like, well, I'll use Apple Pages for this particular example. So here I am in Pages. Now I have, going back here, we'll highlight this text here, and we'll go ahead and we'll copy that. And then we'll open up Pages to a blank document, and we'll go ahead and paste that in. And what you'll notice is that this heading, Pages doesn't recognize that font, so it's gone ahead and done its best guess. Now, if it's important to you that you use the exact same font as what you used in Google Docs, then there's a few more steps that you will need to follow. All right, so first of all, you'll need to come across to fonts.google.com and locate, so all the fonts that are here are the exact same ones that are available in Google Docs. No surprises there, it's all Google. And we know that this one is called Permanent Marker. So I can just come to my search function here and start looking for Permanent Marker. Once I click on this card, and once you've located it, you'll need to come here to Download Family. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And select somewhere to save the file. So I'll just put it on my desktop for now. And here it is here. So we'll need to extract that. And we can open up that folder there. And you will find this file here, which is a TrueType font file. And to install, you'll need to then install it on your laptop. So if you double click on it, that will open up this window here, which is part of a system app called FontBook. And you'll just need to come down here and click on Install Font. All right, and then, so there's FontBook, and it's showing now that I've got this font installed on my device. Word of caution, what you will need to remember is that if you then send this document to someone else and they don't have the font installed on their device, they're not going to see the font displayed properly either. So they will need to find it and download it and all the rest of it. All right, so back to my Apple Doc, and I can now, should be able to find, there it is there, Permanent Marker, because I have installed it on my machine. And that right there is an introduction to fonts. Very quick, very basic, but it will hopefully give you an appreciation of how fonts can be managed for your documents. As always, hit us up if you've got any questions. Have fun.